Hi and welcome. I'm Oracle Asherah. This is an angel guided energy reading for air signs. So we're speaking to Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, this is a loaded, heavy reading, so I hope you're ready. All right, so the first card is telling me you have a situation where you're like, at least it's not as bad as last time. Okay, so this is telling me you're tolerating an experience, a job, a person, relationship. Okay, so this is where things get tricky. Okay, so we need to evaluate our self worth, our self esteem, our quality of living, our value, our worth. Are we questioning that? Are we putting that on the back burner and putting other things in front of that, including other people? Okay, so if we're tolerating the toxicity from somebody or a situation and we're like excusing them by telling them, well, at least it's not as bad as the last time, at least it's not as bad as the last job, at least it's not as bad as the last relationship, this is tolerating, and tolerative behavior is self-sabotage. Hurting you, this card, ow, that's you. Okay, you are hurting yourself because you are enduring the situation. You are hurting your being, your character, your ability to love and be in this world in a deserving way. Okay, so you're selling yourself short by having this tolerance of, at least it's not as bad as last time. Okay, so if we are in a situation that we can address and change it, do so. Okay, so this is a job, start looking for a new one. Okay, if this is a relationship, is it a temporary relationship or permanent relationship? So if it's a temporary situation, you need to evaluate the worth. Is this worth the hurt I'm enduring? You are actually hurting yourself and your well-being by being in this situation. So you need to choose better. Okay, if it is a deeper situation where this is marriage or a relationship with attachments we can't run away from, that gets more complicated and more painful. Okay, so if we address these partners with our thoughts, feelings, and concerns, and they come back at us with statements like, well, you knew this when we met, you knew this when you married me. Okay, that shows their inability to grow, learn, change, and evolve. Okay, which is quite ridiculous because we're constantly learning, we're constantly healing, we're constantly growing. Okay, especially when you're in a loving relationship. When you're in a loving relationship, you evaluate, wow, I'm hurting this person by behaving this way. Wow, I really need to evaluate my beliefs and what I'm doing here because that's not reflecting so well in my situation. Right? So when you are in a loving relationship, you're not going to experience that kind of response. So if this is the response you're getting, you need to evaluate how toxic is the situation. Are you even afraid to approach this person because you're afraid of how they'll react? That's not good. If you're afraid to approach this person because you think they might make changes in their life that's going to hurt you, that's not good. If you're going to afraid to approach this person because you think if you do, they're going to push you away, cheat on you, or like make your life worse, this isn't good. Okay, so what I recommend doing is having the courage to address this situation because you are worth it. Okay, you are valuable. You are a loving and deserving person. Okay, so brave the fear, brave the unknown, be prepared. Wait, plan for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Okay, so when we ask for truth, you have to be ready for what comes at you. Okay, so I always like to say leave room for the universe to wow you, but also be prepared for the worst. So you're never without a plan of action. Okay, because then you're not caught short. You're not, by being prepared for the negative and the worst case scenario doesn't mean you're manifesting it. Okay, how often have we experienced in our life we're planned and prepared and it doesn't happen? right? So, say in a work situation, it's a holiday, but if you staff properly, it's going to be dead. If you staff regularly, you're going to get hit, right? So when you're prepared, things don't usually work out that way, right? So when you're prepared to make the hard decision, you're prepared, you have that strength. So they're going to feel that. So they're going to either act correctly and move forward properly, or they're going to do what you expect them to do, and you're going to have to make a hard decision. Okay? So you have to value your energy, your time, your quality of living, and yourself. You are worth it. Okay? So take a deep breath, ground yourself, approach this person with what's happening, how you're feeling, how this is affecting your life and your trust in this relationship. Do it without fear and let them show you who they are. Okay? Because when we're tolerating and making excuses for everything, you are hurting yourself for loving them. That's not how this goes. You love them, they love you. You're their piece, they're your piece. Okay, this is reciprocated, and this is where we heal. We're constantly healing, so it's not always perfect, right? So we're engaging, healing, and that's the point of relationships, is we're healing ourselves. We're seeing our reflection. We're bettering ourselves because I love you. That is the purpose of love and relationships, okay? So the love and the relationship is a safe place for those things to happen, to shed the fear, to shed past, to shed the trauma, the drama, everything that's hurt us and made us feel so alone in this world. Okay? Love is supposed to be a safe place. So if we're caught in a relationship that isn't loving and we want that, we have to address it. Okay? You have to do it with fear of losing it. Okay? Because if you're going to address this person and they're going to push you away and cheat on you, so be it. Let them be themselves. Let them show you who they are. Okay, so you can move what's going to be best for you and if you have a family. Okay, so this is asking you to be brave, move forward with honor and integrity. Don't forget to be a loving person and don't give up being a loving person, right? Quite often we lack boundaries, which is what allows us to constantly be hurt. So never sacrifice being a loving being. Develop and have better boundaries. Do not have expectations, have standards. Okay? So again, this is about learning ourselves and our worth, our value, and claiming it. Okay? I don't always like to abandon relationships or these experiences, and I'm pretty sure that's your belief also, which is why you feel stuck. But you do have to some point choose yourself. Okay? You do at some point have to choose the quality of your living and your everyday life. Okay? So if this person is sucking the life out of you and they have for 6 months or 10 years, okay, eventually something's going to have to change and it's you. Okay? Okay. All right, so next is asking me to help you look at the big picture. Your third eye is being able to see the big picture, to see yourself, to see your dreams, the possibilities. So pray, meditate. It's when we make a decision and a choice that there's help. Okay? God and the angels can't do nothing for you until you make a choice and move, or a move, right? So in that aspect, we need to listen, and if it brings us peace in the decision, you made the right decision. Okay? This is empowerment. Be brave. You need to free yourself and have justice, not justify the situation. Okay? Your heart needs justice. Your soul needs justice. Your human experience needs justice by you. You need to free these chains of beliefs and tolerance and acceptance of things you don't deserve. Okay, you have to be able to have these hard conversations, to express yourself, and be okay with that. You should be in a safe place to do that. Love and relationship is a safe place to grow, learn, and heal. Okay? All right, let's see what else is going on here. Right. Right. Okay. Right. So discernment is this card, right? So sometimes we overshare. So sometimes we just need to address the situation, taking a step back. So say this energy, at least it's not as bad as the last time, is a place of employment, okay, or a relationship of some sort. So discernment. Okay. Sometimes truth is the enemy because the enemy is a bigger power. They're all in an illusion. They're all in a state of fronting a situation but behaving another way, right? So if you're a truth speaker, a truth seeker, you are a threat to this environment, these people, right? So sometimes we need to take a step back, silent, and just observe. So by observing, then we know best how to move or what we need to do, right? So sometimes we're observing the situation. Okay, I'm aware what's going on here. I'm aware of your truth, your truth, your truth. This is not the truth. This is really hard for me to be in. So then you might make the decision of finding a new job and then quitting, okay? Or just learning that if I speak here, I'm putting myself at harm. I'm putting myself at risk, right? So that doesn't mean you're accepting what's happening around you. You just have discernment, right? So sometimes that's really hard for us, is to accept that sometimes being silent is the right choice, okay? Right. So creating change in our life and world, as long as it is to leave something toxic to create something better, again, you have to make the choice and start the active search for a better situation. And then within that, you're going to receive the guidance towards the blessings, okay? So when we learn to listen better, we learn to then avoid the unnecessary. Okay, but sometimes lessons is what moves us because that's our nature, that's who we are. So by embracing our lessons, you know you're going to be moving into a change, into a growth, into our ascension, our development, or your personal growth, okay? We already touched on truth. Being a truth seeker and truth speaker is very difficult because people don't like their reflections most of the time. Most of the time we receive a lot of abuse, and it's because the abuser doesn't like their reflection, right? So we have to evaluate the situation, the big picture, what's going on here, and then making the appropriate choices that's going to be best for you, your environment, your life, and family if you have one, okay? So these are some hard choices. You need to make them yourself. Your life is your responsibility. I'm not telling you to do anything specifically, but to question, observe, and move what's right for you, okay? As you see in my disclaimer, I am not responsible for any financial or legal or situations. Therefore, you choose because I've enlightened you or inspired you to view something a little differently or dress something, okay? So just make sure, again, whatever it is you choose to do, it's because it's what you want, it's what you believe that you need, and move in accordingly, okay? This is about your development, your life, and quality of living. Okay. Okay, cut the cords. All right, cut the cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Okay, So I advise you to definitely spend some time praying, some time reflecting upon your situations here. I don't know everything that's going on with you, but the general senses here is you need to look at what you're tolerating and allowing, okay, whether that's personal or professional. If things are hurting your heart and your soul and your experience in this life, you need to address that, be responsible and accountable for that. Okay. All right. All right. Well, that was pretty heavy, and I pray for you, and I send you all the love. Okay. Best wishes, guys.